Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting the first annual recognition of achievements this December, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives to a spiritual act of kindness. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.
Well, hello, good evening, and welcome everybody to Spiritual Psychics TV and your fortnightly edition of Collective Consciousness. Did you just see that advert for the awards? Remember, the 12th of September, guys, that's when you can start your voting. I thought it was the 12th, Richard. You're telling me 7th. Here we go. Look, I've been away for a month, guys, and he's having a go at me already. Can you believe it? It's lovely to be back. Thank you so much to everybody that's here with us this evening. I can see that we've got lots of you already joining, and for those of you that might be new and joining us here for the first time, you are very, very welcome. Now, Collective Consciousness is a show that is purely dedicated to mediumship, and every other fortnight I get the opportunity to bring a new face to Spiritual Psychics TV, a new medium, to share the virtual platform with me, where we link with your loved ones, friends, family in the world of spirit, delivering you not only personal readings, but then we also conjoin our energies together collectively, hence the name Collective Consciousness, and we work together on that one vibration for the one recipient that's watching at home. And that's what we intend to do here again this evening. Now, guys, a few house rules with everybody just before we get things started here this evening. Okay, we are streaming live from Facebook and YouTube. And as always, those of you that are regulars who know me, you will know that I'll ask you to share us out there as much as you possibly can to your own personal pages and any spiritual pages that you may feel are of interest. It just helps us here at SPTV grow. There is about a 10 to 15 second time delay as well when you're placing your comments to us receiving them, and vice versa. So we've all just got to bear with one another whilst we're going through the process of the communications there as well. Now, for those of you watching Facebook, it's dead easy for you to share us out there. Just hit that share button in the bottom corner of your screen there, and it'll allow you to share it to all of the social media pages that you're related to on Facebook. And for those of you watching via YouTube, there's that little swirly arrow icon just sitting underneath in the graphics box there, where you can copy and paste that onto your social media platforms also. So before I bring my lovely guest medium on with me on screen this evening, I'm getting tongue-tied. You all know when I get tongue-tied, I've got spirit coming in. Before I introduce my lovely guest medium, I'm going to say a few hellos to some of you that are joining us here this evening. So can we have some names up on screen, please, Producer Richard? Thank you very much. So I can see we've got our lovely Terry Wall saying good evening to Bill, Dawn, and Richard. Good evening to you, Terry. How are you, my lovely? Terry works incredibly hard backstage on the SPTV fan page. I can also see we've got the lovely Joe Clark saying evening, Bill and Richard. Good evening to you, Joe. Thank you for joining. We've also got Star Red Wing saying, how are you, Bill? I'm very well, thank you, Star. As I say, I've been away for about a month, so I've recharged the batteries and I've been really, really excited about joining you all again here this evening, especially with my guest medium who's backstage. We've also got Tina Ann Walker saying good evening, Bill. Good evening to you too, Tina. Lovely for you to join us, my lovely. We've got Benny Ty saying good evening, all. Good evening to you, Benny, watching from YouTube. Marion Claiborne, evening, Bill from Norfolk, and Marion's watching via Facebook there. Good evening to you too, Marion. And we've got the lovely Joanne Lewis, who's watching via YouTube. Hello there to you, Joanne. Jenny Bennett, first time watching you, Bill. Nice to watch your show. God bless you, Jenny. Thank you so much for joining here. You're very, very welcome. And for those of you that are new and maybe watching for the first time, let us know where you're watching from, guys. We'd love to know whereabouts you are in the world, because we do have overseas viewers as well as those of you that are here within the UK. I can see that I've got my naughty son who's upstairs who should be asleep. Hello there, Josh. Thank you for joining. Richard saying you should have protective glasses on in that picture there, son. Absolutely right as well. And we've got Suzanne Richards saying hi, Bill and everyone. Hello there to you too, Susan. Thank you so much for joining. Claire's also with us saying good evening, Bill, and everyone also watching via Facebook. Good evening to you too, Claire. And Stace Shaw, the lovely Stace, is saying hi, Bill and Dawn and Richard. So on that cue, Richard, where Stace is saying hello, Bill and Dawn, I think we should introduce the lovely Dawn to everybody at home. What do you think? Well, there we go. And hello there to you, Dawn.
Hi, Bill. How are you? Fancy meeting you here.
I know. What are you doing here? I've not seen you before somewhere.
You have indeed.
Dawn, Dawn, thank you so much for joining on the show this evening. It's lovely to be able to work with you once again. I know we've worked together before. So for those that are maybe watching for the first time that haven't had the opportunity to see you, do you want to tell everybody at home a little bit about yourself?
Oh, sure, Bill. Well, I'm Dawn. I'm from Ireland. I live in a place called Donegal, originally from Mayo, for those of you that might be familiar with Ireland. I've been working with Spirit for most of my life. Very, very grateful to be able to be here this evening. I run a page called Where Angels Whisper here on Facebook, where we met.
Absolutely.
And really, that's kind of me. You know, what else would you like to know, Bill?
Well, you do lots of spiritual work, don't you? I mean, you do anything from healing, obviously, to mediumship, and also trance mediumship as well, which is something you're passionate about.
Very passionate about trance mediumship. I'd say, you know, between that and singing, that they would be my two major things I love to do with Spirit and serving Spirit that way. You know, my trance mediumship journey would have started probably the first time I sat into sitting with Spirit. You know, there was always this very close connection. And that would have been somewhere around 2004 for me, where Spirit showed up in my life, and it just kind of went on from there. Here in Ireland, we don't have I would say the joy of having so many spiritual churches. So we're kind of out in a limb and developing our independently as mediums here, you know. And so I think it was about 6 years ago where Spirit just said, right, okay, you're for trance. And they settled me down into the vibration of that. So we've had some really interesting years of development and making really beautiful contacts with people's loved ones in trance states, and, you know, philosophy, all of that. So it's still, you know, with trance, it's always a work in progress.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you also do lots of teaching as well, don't you?
Yeah, I love teaching. You know, this, you know, like yourself, so many different things. You forget half the time the amount of things you do. So I settle in, always in the winter period, I would always settle into teaching and running circles and teaching other people about trance and angels, all sorts of wonderful things, and how to connect with their guides and work more closely with their own spirit, you know. So I'm all about the development of our own spirit first while developing spirit.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've visited your page on more than one occasion, and I can say to everybody at home that's watching, it is well worth a visit. There's always something completely different that you've got going on there. And I think that's what really encapsulated me. And, you know, with the prompt of Spirit, obviously, they brought us together to work for a reason, and they brought us again together this evening for that reason, as well as next week, I believe, as well. So we've been very fortunate, haven't we, with regards to the way that Spirit work in the most wonderful of ways, as those of us that serve them know.
Yes.
But yeah, you've done an absolutely fantastic job on your page, and I love to dip in from time to time when I get the opportunity, just to see what you're up to next.
There's always something going on. That's the wonder of spirit, isn't it? They keep us on our toes, and yeah, I always think if you can live a creative life through spirit, you're very blessed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was just scrolling through YouTube the other day, and I seemed to stumble upon a lady with the same namesake who's actually done a few recorded versions of some songs out there. Now, what's all that about?
Oh, that started, well, it's a long story. How long have we got, Bill? But yeah, I love music, and it's one of the things that I grew up with as a child. I was very blessed and fortunate to sing in choir and things like that, so it's always been something that stayed with me. And I always find I'm closer to spirit in the comfort of music, and as we know, certain songs bring us to that place of peace and healing when we've lost somebody, or we can recognize our connection with them when the song comes on when we're out and about, so for me, music is my safe space, so like I won't sit into a mediumship session unless I've listened to good old Whitney. When Whitney's on, we're getting ready for spirit work, so yeah, through that, I have had several children that passed to spirit over the years, unfortunately, and today is actually one of their anniversary today. So the synchronicities is amazing. So thank you to yourself and Richard for having me on. But with the music, it was just my way of giving back, And so there was several years ago when I was about 10 years back now, Bill, when I first went to the Art of Findlay College, actually, and somebody somewhere heard me tittering away, do you know what I mean, and just singing away to myself. John, come and sing in the sanctuary. So I got to sing for the congregation in there one of the Sundays, and it was just such an amazing experience, and very humbling, so that music brings us back to our roots, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's funny that we're talking about music as well, because this is no word of a lie. The last 2 days, when I've been sitting in the silence and I've been opening myself up to spirit, I've had this gentleman that's been joining me, who's my first communicator here tonight, and I will go into opening up shortly. But this guy has been playing a specific song over and over and over in my head. And I've served other churches prior to coming on to SPTV tonight, and I knew that it wasn't right to bring him through on those occasions. He's made me feel so assured that he should be coming through tonight. So now that I've said it, I've got to put it out there at some stage this evening, just to make sure that we bring that communication link through. So it's strange, as you say, we all resonate with music in specific ways, but I think a lot of us spiritually really do kind of like feel the essence of the music either before we open up to spirit, or whilst we're working with spirit, and they like to play songs and music within our head. So
absolutely.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I love it. And when I'm doing my own demonstrations, I always open with a song, and bring music in throughout the session. So I suppose it's just very comforting, and it grounds me.
How lovely. Lovely. So shall we say a few hellos to everybody that's watching this evening? I'll let you go first. Ladies first. Over to you.
Hi, Alison Barton there on YouTube. Welcome. Thanks for joining myself and Bill this evening.
We've got the lovely Patricia with us saying hello. Oh, I'm getting tongue-tied again. I've got spirit coming through.
Hi, Donna, all the way from New York on Facebook. Welcome, my dear. Welcome.
And the lovely Mia Thomas saying, hi, Bill, welcome back. Thank you so much, Mia. It's lovely to be back. It doesn't feel like I've been away for 4 weeks. It's just gone like that. So it's lovely to be back with you all.
Hi, Julian. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us this evening.
That's a lovely Gillian. She sits my development circle all the way fabulous. In Qatar. And we've got Mary Dixie, Bill, Dawn and Richard, and Mary's watching by YouTube. Good evening to you, Mary. Lovely for you to join us, my lovely.
Hi, Donna from Pennsylvania in USA. Great to see you all the way from Facebook. Thank you.
I can also see that we've got Suze with us. First time seeing you both. Suze, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening.
Hi, Veronica. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in, my dear. Looking forward to a great session this evening.
I can see we've got Chloe Watson saying, good evening, everybody. I'm going to take my earphones out, Richard, because for some reason it's telling me my speaker's off. So spirit are playing with us.
Hi, Diane. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
I can also see we've got the lovely Cameron De Silva saying good evening to Bill and Dawn. Good evening to you too, Cameron.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's James from Letterkenny, where I live, so I know exactly who this is tuning in from YouTube. Thank you so much, James, for being here.
Ah, lovely. And we've got Shelley Jane Ostler saying, hi, I'm new to watching. Good evening to you too, Shelley. Thank you so much for joining, my darling.
Hi, Josie. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here as well. Beautiful picture.
How lovely, how lovely. And lovely Cheryl Bernyak's with us all the way on YouTube watching, saying good evening, Bill. Good evening to you too, Cheryl. Can you hear me loud and clear, Richard? Because for some reason I had a problem with my speaker then. Okay, fine. Okie dokie. I've had to put the earphones away because for some reason they don't want to work. I don't know what's going on here tonight. I think Spirit are having a game with us, but that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to work without the speakers and we'll just go with the flow. So I think what we'll do, Dawn, is we'll get things started, if that's
Brilliant.
okay with you.
Yes, please.
So we will get around to saying a few more hello to you guys, for those of you that we've not had the opportunity to acknowledge. But for the time being, I think Dawn and I will get to work with regards to our links that we need to be bringing forward from the spirit realms here with you. So Dawn, we'll bring you back on screen in a short while, if that's okay.
Perfect, Bill. Thank you.
You're welcome, my lovely. Okie dokie. Right, so I'm going to work with this lovely gentleman, as I say, that's been making himself very evident to me over the last couple of days. And he's only been doing it when I've been sitting within my power, within the silence, when I've been linking in with spirit. He's not been obtrusive in any way whatsoever. He's been very respectful when I'm living my earthly life and when I'm opening up spiritually to spirit. The first thing he's done with me, and he's been playing it over and over in my mind, is that song, I Drove All Night. Now, I don't want to say Roy Orbison, because I know that Roy Orbison sung that, but I want to place it with Cyndi Lauper. For whatever reason that might be, I hear it with Cyndi Lauper singing it to me. Okay. He makes me understand. He gives me a scenario where you were driving all night to get to him, or you were driving all day and all night to make this journey before this guy made his crossing over into spirit. Now, as he starts to join with me here, okay, and he starts to work with me, God love him, I'm surrounded by machinery. So I know that this guy would have been dependent on a lot of machines with regards to life. I feel I want to say life support, okay? And I know that this guy was hanging on in the physical sense on the earth plane because he was waiting for others to get there, especially I feel the recipient that needs to take the message here this evening. I feel as though I'm reaching out to a female recipient who's watching as well here, okay? He makes it very evident to me that there's a lady that needs to take this part of the message. But I also feel and I also understand that there should have been 4 around his bed when he passed, because he just places 4 within my mindset as he starts to work with me. Now, Sadie, my lovely, you're saying you went to Scotland from Nottingham to my brother. I was going to say, and you fed the medium there, sweetheart, but I was going to say that I felt with this guy that he didn't make old bones. And I felt as though I wanted to work on a brother link vibration. So this actually sits particularly well with me, with you at this moment in time there, Sadie. So I'm just going to continue to work a little bit harder with him, just to get a bit more of an essence of him, who he was, what his character was like. I really want to bring him not only into my room, I want to bring him into yours as well there, my darling. And I can see that Billy is also saying, can take this, drove from Essex to Cornwall. Thank you, Billy, for giving me that information there as well. Now, he talks to me about Yorkshire, okay? But when he's saying Yorkshire to me, he's placing the taste of tea within my mouth. So I feel as though I need to acknowledge Yorkshire tea bags for whatever reason that might be, or indeed there being links and connections to Yorkshire that this gentleman wants to place within your mindset as well there. Sadie, you're saying he was 55. That sits well again, because as I say, he didn't make old bones by any means. I know that this guy was a real lover of life as well. I feel with him that, do you know what, he had a personality that would have actually have lit up the room. Okay, Gail, you're saying you can take it but not a brother. Then Gail, not for you, my darling, because I do have to work on this brother link vibration that he's been giving me here as well. I wonder if the song actually relates as well there, guys, if you can understand loving this song. Sadie, you're saying your favourite tea. My link is with Sadie, 100% there, Richard. I'd like to continue to work with Sadie, but if there's anybody else that can actually take from this message, then please do take the love and the essence and the comfort from this message, because this is Spirit's way of reaching not just one person, but several others as well there. Okay, Sadie, you would understand as well why he wants to make reference to four of you being there at his bedside, or four of you indeed having should have been there as well, please, my darling. He gives me an understanding as well, as though I feel as though somebody didn't make it. Okay, I feel as though somebody just missed out on an essence of time, and I just want to say a snipping of time as well. And I don't want them to be beating themselves up about this, he tells me as well. Okay, my darling. So please do give me the feed and just respond via the comment section, so I know that I'm working correctly with him in the correct vein, so I can continue with your message there. I was working on the essence of him. I was working on his character. He was shining like a light bulb to me with regards to oozing the essence of his personality there. You're saying yes, my darling. Elaborate a little bit more for me so I know what you're saying yes to. It's wonderful you can take the tea bags as your favourite drink. That's fantastic. That's the reason why you gave that information there to me. The other thing that I want to say to you as well, Sadie, is I want to squirt bitter lemon into your mouth now as well. And I feel that this is something very jovial that is making me understand here. So I feel as though I want to play out a scenario here, and I want to take you back somewhat in your younger days, where you're having a bit of a squirt of bitter lemon for whatever reason that might be, okay? But as he gives this to me, he makes me feel as though I just want to chuckle. And I know with this guy, the way that he works with me, he would have been one that really would have loved a laugh. He really would have lived his life to the fullest, okay? And I know that as he gives his missus was in Spain. She arrived a few hours late. Thank you, my darling. I knew that there was somebody that didn't just quite make it. And please, can you just make sure that you either share this playback with her afterwards, after tonight's show, or indeed, if it's not something she can access, that you do pass the message on. Now, he is making me, for some reason, work hard with getting words out. Okay, so I know that there must have been some type of issue around him prior to him making his passing, where I feel as though there would have been issues where I couldn't have spoken, or I didn't speak about things as freely as I should, because I don't want there to be ill feeling. He's given me an understanding that there should have been things that were said, or there were things that were said, okay, where things weren't able to be rectified here, okay? And again, he's just wiping the slate clean. He just makes me understand that, you know what, let bygones be bygones. And I feel this would have been some type of terminology that this gentleman would have used when he would have spoke, okay? Let bygones be bygones. And I hope that that sits well with you and you can understand the reason why he gives that to me there, my lovely. I feel as though this gentleman would have actually really have had quite a defined structure to his face as well, because I feel quite strong jawline features with him as he starts to come that little bit closer here with me, and he starts working with me that little bit harder as well. And for some reason, I want to be placing a tattoo upon the top part of my right arm here as well, please. And again, I don't know if I'm placing that with him or indeed with you, but I know there's a relevance of why he wants to bring a tattoo through on the top of my arm there for you as well, my darling. Okay, The reason why he's coming as well, because I'm just having a chat with him now and asking him, what is the purpose? Why is it that you wanted to make this connection? What is it that you want me to talk about? I feel as though I need to be acknowledging that there is some type of celebration that's coming up this month, because he sits me well within the month of September. Okay. But he also talks to me about pregnancy, he talks to me about a birth, an impending birth. Okay. And I feel as though I need to acknowledge pink, the colour pink here as well. So I hope that you can understand why he's giving this information to me, my darling, and let me know through the feed and the comment section there if this is all relating. He couldn't breathe, so he couldn't talk, but yeah, okay, darling, that's the reason why there as well. Okay, I feel as well with this gentleman that, you know what, I feel as though there would have been a loss of hair with him, okay, because he's just taking me up to my hair. I'm asking him to work with me with my characters and my features, and I feel as though there would have been a loss of hair with this gentleman. I feel as though he would have taken his hair back really short for whatever reason that might be. Okay, and I also understand as well, he wants to place with me, okay, he wants to place with me the significance of a stainless steel key ring, and on the end of this stainless steel key ring he wants to show me a bus, okay, and I'm asking him why he's giving that to me, and I feel as though he's just acknowledging about this journey that you're about to embark upon, okay, because he's making me understand journey. He's talking to me about journey as I'm asking him what the significance of this keyring is, okay. He shows it to me as a double-decker bus, okay, and I want to put you up on the top deck. So the reason symbolically why he's working this way with me is because I want to put you higher up now, my darling. It's almost as though I want to be placing you first, okay. It's time for you to sit at the top of the pecking order. He's making me understand with whatever it is that this journey that you're embarking on or about to embark on, you would also understand there as well. Can you also take the reason why he wants to take me back somewhat into March as well, please, my darling, because he just calls out March to me as he gives me this information there as well. And for some reason I'm hearing the name Dan as well being called to me. Dan, so it's either Dan or Daniel. Yes, he did have black thick hair, okay, but you would understand about him taking it back, please, my lovely, because he just shows me it being taken back somewhat, very, very short here with that. Can you take Dan or Daniel as well, please, because he's calling that name out to me as well there, my darling, so I need to place that with you. And again, talk to me about this link with March as well. Okay, just before I send him back off up to the angels there, my sweetheart, I'm going to ask him if we can have a parting gift for you before we send him on his way. Now, sometimes they work with me symbolically, sometimes they place something with me that may have already exchanged within the physical sense. So let's see where it is that this gentleman's taking me with you there. Okay, for some reason I need to acknowledge even before we go into the gift. Yes, your daughter, thank you. So that's Dan or Danny or Daniel, you would understand, or Danielle then in that case. For some reason, I need to acknowledge one of these little pug dogs. He just brings a little pug dog forward within my mind as he's working here with me. So I feel as though I want this pug dog in the physical sense here on the earth plane right now. And I want a sandy coloured pug dog as well. You would understand there, please, my lovely. And what he's doing with it, oh, the birthday is, okay, it's your daughter's birthday. Okay, my darling, thank you so much. Just be a little bit more explanatory on the end of your communication there, sweetheart, just so everybody at home can understand what it is that you're answering to as well, just so that we're getting that validity correct. And she's Danielle. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay. I was hearing Daniel, but Danielle's fine by me. As you know, those of you that watch me, I don't generally get lots of names, so I'll take that one. Thank you very much, Spirit. The other thing that he just wants to give me here as well, my sweetheart, is he just wants to draw my attention and my focus to your nails, okay? For some reason, he's taking me to your nails, and what he's doing is taking me down to the tips of your nails and he's blinging them up. So I know I'm putting lots of bling around you. I know you're a bit of a bling-tastic type of girl. That's what I want to be saying here, okay? And he brings that to me symbolically here, okay? So I know we've got a love of nails. I wonder if you've just recently had them done and you can relate to this bling being on the tips of the fingernails there as well, please, my sweetheart. But that's his parting gift that he's brought forward for you. I'm going to say, God bless you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity of working with you. Yes, he had a dog, Sandy coloured. Perfect. Thank you, my darling. I'm going to say, God bless you, Sandy. God bless him. Send him back up to the angels. And I'm going to hand over to the lovely Dawn to start on her first link. Yes, Richard? So Laurie Bailey, your dad was on life support. We drove from Wales to Manchester to see him, and you can take the Cindy Lauper as well. Then Laurie, if you can relate, he wanted me and my sister to be at his side. Okay, I can take all of this. He couldn't speak. I can take the tattoo on his arm too. Okay, my darling. Your birthday, September, and your brother's also. Wow, this is amazing. So we've contacted with 2 people that this message has reached out to. So Laurie, please take from that, my darling, what it is that you can. Take that with the love and the essence that Spirit have brought through here. And I will say God bless you too as well, my darling. And I'm going to hand over to our lovely Dawn.
Thank you, Bill. Right. Wow, that was impressive, Bill. What a fabulous connection.
Oh, bless you.
It was brilliant. I was sitting very attentively watching it all and listening. So I'm just being made aware of a lady joining me from the spirit world. She was showing me an issue here connected to her lungs, and I want to acknowledge a cough with her. Yeah, she wants to clear her throat, but there's this strong feeling and connection to also not being able to breathe correctly. I want to talk about, you know, those little tubes that they would have had in here, and oxygen tank as well. So she would have had this pre-passing, and there's this feeling that this is prolonged condition. So there was like a series of kind of different ailments coming up for her physically, but specifically it was the lungs and the breathing that was causing the biggest challenge for her. I also feel with her, I also see her wearing a scarf on her head, you know, very pretty colors, and people would have brought scarves to her as gifts. You know, this was her thing, and she always liked to keep her appearance looking well, no matter what was going on with the physical body. I'm good up here, okay? I'm good up here. And she's showing me a little, a dainty little watch. It's silver here at the front, and it's just very small, and there's almost like diamante diamonds inside of it, you know, and that this would have been a significant gift or something that she wore with a lot of pride. And she's just given me this feeling, this deep feeling of joy and peace and contentment, you know, and yes, I got through finally, you know, and I know that she possibly would have sat like this as well, because she's given me the hands clasped in front of her, and she was an amazing listener. You know, she wasn't always very talkative, but she was an amazing listener. She was always very aware of what was going on around her. And I also get a sense that there was times maybe she was floated in and out of consciousness when she was near the end of life. And in this space, it's almost like she knew the spirit world were very close to her, and she possibly could have talked about loved ones to her loved ones that were living, that were coming to visit her in the room that she was in. And I know that she spent, it's like I want to go to a hospice or somewhere where she was being very well taken care of. And there's lots of friends around her and people coming and going. I know that she was very sociable, and she mentions 2 daughters, specifically 2 daughters. I want to talk about 2 daughters. And oh my, she's showing me a movie for some reason. Cary Grant, that's who it is, Cary Grant. She's talking about Cary Grant, and I want to go to the movies, and I would have liked the old black and white movies. And I'm taking my time with her, because it's almost like she's taking a deep breath, as she would have done in life. I'm taking a deep breath. I need to take a breath. I need to catch my breath. And she wants to find out who she's placed with. And then she gives me the name. It's like either Harry or Barry, like an A or Y name at the end, connected to her and to the family. I do feel she got sick somewhere in her 40s. You know, that there was a suspicion that there was something going on with her health, and that she possibly had multiple cancers going on in her body. Like it was cured, it came back. It was cured, it came back. That's the vibration that she gives me. Have we anyone, Bill, at the moment that connects with her possibly?
Right.
With the evidence we have.
Yeah, you've got a few people on screen. You should be able to see the feedback of some of the watchers here this evening. Veronica Lee's on my screen at the moment. I don't know if you can see her.
Yes, yeah, I'm probably just getting used to the system. My apologies, Bill.
That's
My
okay,
first
no
time.
worries.
My granddad is Barry. Okay,
Uh-huh.
can you tell me, Nikki, what other parts of this connection with this lovely lady that you can take, please? Thank you. Sounds like my nan. And now I know her to have this very precise curl and wave in her hair. You know, this very precise wave and this beautiful curl and the hairspray. There's oodles of hairspray. So someone would have come in even when she was, you know, unwell at times to come in and pretty her up. There's that feeling of someone being very attentive to her and to her appearance. Yes, black patch on her lung. Feel we could be with Nikki. Yeah. Yes, and she's acknowledging her. She's really acknowledging her. Like, I want to sit up and there's a picture of her and her nan very close to where she lives every day. I want to go into the sitting room. There's a picture of her and her nan. And then there's like, I want to talk about a small tricycle. I want to push you on a tricycle and I want to have that memory with you is what she shows me, Nikki, for you. And then she's laughing about her teeth. She needed help brushing her teeth. Her hair was like the queen. Exactly, that's it. And she was very, very, there's a sense of regalness with her and kindness and contentment in life. And I do get this feeling that she just wasn't fussy about things, if you know what I mean. It's just take it as it is. We don't need to rush, take her time. And I feel that would be the message she would want to give to you. She says, you have a habit of rushing things, Nikki. We need to slow you down. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And then she's writing as if she kept a journal, as she's talking about somebody that has a fondness for writing. I want to write my thoughts down on a regular basis. Now she's bringing me also to the month of April with her and a connection to you and her to do with the month of April. And then she's bringing me to the zoo, like I want to see the tigers and the giraffes and the elephants and all of that, you know, and I feel like this is something that you might have done with her, but it's almost like something that you've had a conversation about also recently. I want to go to the zoo. Now, she also tells me that prior to her passing, she was very physically unwell, you know, dehydrated, needing bloods is what she's showing me, you know. Nick has confirmed the trike, and she's also saying that there's somebody there almost like wiping her mouth and just making sure that she's hydrated, like a little sponge or dabbing it. So she wants to acknowledge that person. Nikki's actually my husband's name. Perfect. Thank you, Kirsty. Christy, thank you, Christy. I know that she is very much surrounded by her family as she transitions into the spirit world, and I know that she passes very peacefully in her sleep, and that's the way that she would have wanted to go. I also feel that, was there an issue around her lower spine? Like, I'm really sore from lying in the bed is what she's showing me. I need to get up and I need help to get moving. She's bringing me to the lower spine and down into her legs as well, and needing that support just to get her body moving again, because I always want to say my legs are so good. You know, she's dancing and moving around the room here in the space that she's in with me, and this freedom of knowing that her physical body is not suffering anymore. Now the scarves, she brings me back to the colourful scarves. It's like she wants to acknowledge possibly your mum giving her a scarf, like there's a collection of them, and she's here for me. She passed in a nursing home. Wonderful, thank you for confirming that. And I also know that she's talking about mind your P's and Q's, as Richard would say to me, no swearing. She's saying no swearing, mind your P's and Q's. Okay, thank you, my darling. Now she's wearing, like, I want to wear pearls. She's bringing me to a set of pearls, but they're specifically tied in a knot. You know how you would have them tied up in a knot, Bill? That's she's bringing me to a fabulous pair of pearls, and it's almost like they're a family heirloom, or there's something that's been passed down through the generation. Okay, and she would want you to have them, Christy, if it was told possible for you to have them the next generation down. And I know that she talks about how proud of you are, how she's so proud of you. Like, I feel like there's somebody that's been struggling to get work, trying to find a job, trying to find the right job has been really, really challenging. And she's wanting to almost bring in this vibration, everything will be okay. You're just potentially not looking in the right place. You need to look in the right place. And then she's mentioning somebody also from the past, a male. She shouted, mind your language. I would say so, but she was very polite in the way that she shouted it. I want to talk about somebody that's always putting up wallpaper and, you know, painting, but I know that this is a gentleman from the past that joins her from the spirit world. I sense this could be Granddad. This is the feeling, the vibration. This is Granddad coming in. I want to put up wallpaper. I want to put up new pictures, as if I'm redecorating a house, and she's bringing me into that space specifically with you. So there must have been conversation about redecorating over the past couple of weeks as well. Now, she says the most important thing for you to remember is that to take time for yourself. It's almost like, I see you so busy. She's showing me your daily life is so actively very busy that you don't always get a moment's breath. And so the breath being very, very important, and to appreciate the smaller things in life. I feel that this is what she would want you to know right now, and which you do so graciously, Christy. I almost feel like she wanted me to have her cameo set ring and necklace. Okay. Beautiful. Slightly off with the pearls, but I still think there's a string of them in there somewhere. I'll take that. Bless. Thank you, Richard. Okay. I'm just going to stay with her because she's just one of those slightly quieter connections, if you know what I mean. And I want to take my time. All right. But she's shown me like an old Morris Minor car, you know, and driving up the back lanes and almost hanging out the windows, and the hands are out in the air and somebody's out the other side and they're having a whole pile of fun, you know. And I just want to go on a day out in my Morris Minor. So there must be a connection at some point in time to a Morris Minor, and Granddad owning a Morris Minor, and the freedom of that they had, and the innocence that came with those times, going out for picnics. I feel like I want to say to Nick, her biggest message for you right now is not to take life so seriously. Slow down, take a deep breath. Okay, I don't know why this is coming from my own guides, if that's okay, Bill, just for a second. They've just said practice getting your yin and your yang in balance, and everything will be fine. I'm going to leave her love with you, and she's thanking you now. She's just given me a lollipop, like one of those little chuppa chuppas. Those little chuppa chuppas, and she's sucking on it. She says she wants you to have that. That's for you and for the little girl that's coming. So obviously there's a pregnancy as well, potentially coming into the family. And I want to give the little chuppa chuppa to the little one. That car may be her first husband. Thank you.
Wonderful.
God bless. Take the lung issues. And is there any other aspect of the message that you could take? To all the health situation, the in and out conscience of the scarves and wasn't keep. My mum had cancer, was never cured, just multiple cancers throughout the body. My mum had wavy hair. I can feel the vibration of both women coming in almost in solidarity for each other, because we know this walk, we've been here together, we understand it, and it feels like my mum was writing a diary based on her emotions. I can completely take that in relation to mum. I also want to mention, it's like an E name, Elizabeth, or Ellen, EL name coming forward as well for you, Lauren. Needed blood and plasma transfusions. My mum loved to dance and had arthritis in the back. Very close link there, in fairness, absolutely. Pearls on special occasions, that was my nan's. Yes. Thank you for sharing, Lauren. I know that she's well in spirit, and she would want you to understand that she's never too far away from you. She can hear you. She can hear you.
That's so lovely. And again, you know what, Dawn? Spirit works very similar with you as they did with me on my message, where that's reached and touched not just one person, but somebody else as well. And the lovely Lauren, she's also a spiritual worker herself. And she's just given you confirmation there as well that Elizabeth is her nan's name as well.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. I've just got the shivers going through me. Spirit's best, please, this evening. How nervous I am.
Oh, bless you. That was a lovely, lovely reading. So shall we settle ourselves down and get ourselves connected to start working on a joint communication? And whilst we're doing that, Richard will play what's coming up on SPTV tomorrow.
You're watching Collective Consciousness. We will continue after these short announcements. Tomorrow, Sam O'Neill presents her Runestone show. This starts from 1 p.m. Sam will be picking random viewers for readings and offering spiritual messages. Later in the evening, from 8 p.m., Ashley Robinson hosts Being Spiritual, a thought-provoking and philosophical show where Ashley will offer his own insights into spiritualism, along with answering your spiritual questions. For more information on our broadcasts, schedule, and information about the presenters, please visit our website. That's it for now. I'll hand you back to Bill and his guest. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Isn't that lovely? I love that new intro there, producer Richard. You've been working really hard, haven't you, over the last month or so? You have got posh, absolutely. I better start pronouncing maybe and Hughes properly then. Now, Dawn, shall we work on this next link together, this next vibration together? Because I can see you starting to look over your shoulder just a moment ago there. So I know that you've got a communicator that's coming in. But first thing that I want to say is I want to come over to your side of the pond. I feel as though I'm coming over to Irish soil here as I'm starting to open myself up to Spirit. And the first thing, again, that Spirit are doing with me this evening is they're playing a song out within my mind. And it's a long way to Tipperary. It's coming straight into the forefront of my mind. So I know that I've got a communication where Tipperary must link with somebody who's watching this evening with either themselves or indeed the communicator that's starting to make themselves more known to me here. Okay, I feel as though I've got a lady that wants to conjoin her energies with me. I know that as this lady starts to talk and communicate with me, she's making it very evident that she would have been mum, she would have been grandmother as well when she was here on the earth plane. Now, this lady, I feel, is a very robust person, very physically as well as mentally, you would understand. And I don't know if you're picking up on this same vibration there, Dawn, but I feel quite thick set with her. That's what I have to say. Okay, I feel as though I've been worked very hard throughout my life with this lady. Okay, so much to the point you would understand that, like, she shows me her hands, and I feel as though I've got split skin with this lady because my hands are constantly in and out of water all day long. I feel as though I'm manually scrubbing and I'm manually washing clothing with her, okay, as she starts to work that a little bit harder with me here. And I know that she didn't really have so much sensitivity where hot water was concerned. I feel she could have put her hands into boiling hot water, this lady, and not felt it, if that makes sense. Okay, Amanda, she's saying, Amanda Seal, please, Richard, if you don't mind. I sing that song for the old people when I go to entertain for them. Oh, that's lovely. And that's the lovely Amanda Seal who will be joining Collective Consciousness later on this year here. And Stacey Shaw is saying, used to sing that in the car on long trips, and Scotland is kin country. Okay, now I'm definitely over the other side of the water. I'm over on Dawn's turf. I'm over on her patch. Kim is saying, oh my God, yes, I can take that. Yes, 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 I can take that. Lady, yes, she was robust. Perfect. Okay, thank you, Kim. Let's see if there's anybody else that's relating to the message as well. Let's just get a little bit more out of her. Dawn, I don't know if you've got anything that's coming into your mind as we're working with this lady here.
I was getting this strong vibration with her, and she was telling me very clearly that she is definitely on Irish soil.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I heard the name Kathleen with her. All right, but I also heard when you were mentioning the song Tipperary, I kept hearing, "Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling." That song was coming through as well. But I also got this impression with her that, you know, if you remember Nora Batty.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it's going back to the whole scarf theme, which seems to be something running this evening. Big trench coat at one point in time.
100%.
Hands in
100%.
pockets, really hard worker, you understand? And really, I mean, from quite a large family. And she's telling me for some reason the number 11. So she's either, there is 11 or she's one of 11. So it would have been quite a big family. Yeah.
Okay. I also want to say as well with this lady that she would have put on her husband's boots. Okay. She would have put the husband's boots on because she's been quite comical with me now as she's starting, and she would have been comical as well when she was here on the physical. You would understand. Okay. I feel that she would have been a right. She says to me she would have been a roar of a laugh, okay, a roar of a laugh as she gives me that information. Sandra's saying, my grandmother loved Oh Danny Boy. Sandra, I wonder if you can relate to the rest of the information. It's important that you can relate to everything that we're bringing forward for you here, guys, this evening, okay? Because she's working very hard to give us what it is that we've got so far. My granny was one of 11, always wore my grandfather's shoes and boots. There we go. I feel that there's our link straight away there with the lovely Sandra McCann. Sandra, I wonder if you can just understand Tipperary as well, please, darling, because that was the first thing that she gave me when she first started to work with me there. So I know there's got to be some type of relevance or significance to Tipperary that she just wants to bring to the forefront of not just my mind, also yours as well there, please, my darling. Okay. I also feel as well, it's important, Sandra, for me to actually say to you as well with this lady that the significance of the Irish flag, okay, and as she takes me to the significance of the Irish flag, I feel as though I need to be very patriotic with her, with the flag, okay. So I know that she's kind of like trying to place within my mindset here as she works that little bit harder with me, that I want to talk about the rebel style of music and song with this lady and feeling very patriotic. So again, I hope you can relate to that information, darling, and do let me know if that sits well with you. Dawn, I'll go over to you because I can see that you've got something else coming in.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, are we working maybe a double link, Bill? You know, sometimes we and you do that, you know.
Yeah.
What I am being shown is this connection to Knock, which is a kind of a spiritual mecca here in Ireland. She's bringing me straight to Knock, and I want to be present at Knock. And I want to go back. It's the early 80s when the Pope came to Ireland. She's bringing me to that, and I want to watch the TV very closely. She knew everything that was going on. This lady was involved in everything that was going on in her community. That's what she's showing me. And I know when she passed into spirit, there's a lot of people, you know, like almost like the Queen went over. There's little flags or buntings out on the doors, you know, that it was a marked, not as a day of real deep sadness, if you know what I mean, that this is a person that left a bit of a legacy. You know, people respected her. She, like Sandra said, she liked to go to Tipperary, only ever listen to rebel songs. We live in the bog. There we go. We're with Sandra, definitely.
100%.
Yes.
I can see that Kim's also saying that she can take this as well. I mean, for me, I have to say that my vibration, where I'm going with this, I feel as though, although Kim can take the message, I'm not with Kim. But Kim, if you can take anything from this, then please, my darling, take from it what you can. But I feel as though I want to continue this message with our lovely Sandra, if I may. And again, I don't know about yourself there, Dawn, but she's saying, Knock, my grandmother was at Knock a few times, watched the Pope, always at every funeral, etc.
Yeah. Now, I'm also feeling this, she showed me her hands. You know how you mentioned her hands, you know, they were into everything, really, you know, chemicals, everything. And there wasn't really that much consideration for the damage it might do long term. I do want to acknowledge almost like her joints are a little bit out of place, so they're all very swelled up and sore. But her hands would have got very sore over the years, you know, from all the scrubbing and the heavy bucket lifting. And for some reason, she's showing me dairy making to do with cheese and milk in her younger years. You know, I'm not sure if Sandra will obviously remember that far back, but a very active lifestyle. You know, even right down into her knees. I feel that the joints in her knees almost buckled from the pain later in life. You know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I just know that she, the way that she works with me, it's almost like she wants to say to me, I was like a workhorse. That's the way that she's giving me the understanding here, okay? I feel as though like she would have been just there for absolutely anyone and everyone, okay? That and that fits in with where you were going with that well-respected or very much well-liked and loved within her own community, and knowing everything that was going on, okay. I just know that as I work with her and as I look at the image that I've got on screen there with Sandra, I feel as though I want to say to you, Sandra, that, you know, there's still so much more of this journey for you to digress, okay? I feel as though I want to be encouraging you to going back to lots of books of learning, because I just want an overwhelming source of information continuously being placed in front of me here on my table. She just shows me books, she shows me lots of literature, she shows me lots of writing. So I know that there must be some essence of study going on around you, where there's this continuation that's happening, this evolution that's happening around you. We live in a small village, so everyone helped everyone else. Perfect. Do let me know if you can understand why she's worked that way with me with the last piece of the information there for you, my darling. I'll hand over to Dawn to see if Dawn has anything else that she'd like to add to this. And I'm going to work with her to see if I can get a parting gift from her, Dawn, as well.
Yeah. And Sandra did acknowledge the arthritis there, and that she did work on a dairy farm as well. So we definitely have a wonderful connection with this lady. Yeah. I still want to reflect on the name Kathleen, and I want to give in the name Michael as well as being significant names linked in with the family. But I also feel that she was never a woman to dwell on death, if you know what I mean. Death was almost like, you know, a transition. She had so much faith that whoever was passing, they're going to a very, very good place, you know. So I know that she would want that tradition to continue in life. Okay, I want to continue that tradition of understanding that it's just a transition and all is well with her. She talks about, oh bless, she's just settled into my energy, because you know that I work with a trance state, so I'm just receiving an energy for a moment there, you know. And she talks about the diabetes as well, you know, that she had, you know, in those days they wouldn't have known much about it, and so she would have struggled with that, because she tells me she had a terrible sweet tooth. She loved the fudge, you know. And then she reminds me of somebody that went to Scotland and brought back a whole pile of gifts, and she got addicted to it that way. So she got a fancy for Scottish fudge for some reason. You know. When my grandfather passed, she knew that he was happy and at peace, very much so. You know, it's almost like I don't want to dwell on the sadness of life. We'll just get on with things, and that was always really very much her approach, you know. And she definitely says, when she chuckles here with me, she says, I was definitely a Nora Batty, definitely, and she would like to watch those types of programs, and some mothers do have them, all of that, you know. So when she got the wireless on, you couldn't get her to turn it off. She'd be dancing around the floor with the mop, you know. But she it's just this nature of getting people going. Do you know what I mean? Getting people thriving and happy and content, you know. Absolutely. So it's very much the head of her family. Very much so.
And someone just giving some feedback there. Always eating sweets, rock fudge cake, always baking. And she could also take the link to the diabetes as well there, Dawn, as well.
There we go.
So that's fantastic. I'm just working with her on a parting gift. And the thing that she's giving me to pass over to you, Sandra, my darling, is a plane ticket. I know that you're coming over to the UK. Okay, I know that she's bringing you over to this side of the pond. It's funny, she's taken me over to your side of the pond, Dawn, but now she's reciprocating it by giving me a plane ticket to pass on to Sandra to bring her over to the UK. So I feel, and I understand with the way that I'm working on this connection with her, that this has got something to do with that evolution of this training, this development, okay, this work-based studying that you're doing at this moment in time, my sweetheart. And I feel as though she just wants to bring you over to the UK where you are going to finalise things. And I hope that that sits well with you and you can understand exactly what it is that she's going to do. For me, I'm going to say God bless you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity of working with you and she. I'm just going to hand over to Dawn in case she has anything else that she'd like to add to the link before we close this one off.
Thank you, Bill. Interesting. There's the magic word as well, Bill. I'm staying with her because I feel like she's been listening to our conversation this evening. Our pre-conversation.
Don't mention food. I've said it. They'll all be talking about food now. On those comments, they'll all be talking amongst one another about what they've had for dinner and what sweets it is. So I'm just saying the potential in the next couple of months to go to the UK for work, etc. Perfect. There we go.
I feel like I would like to just leave her love with you, Sandra, as well. I feel she's quite content with that and just so pleased she was able to make this connection this evening with you.
Lovely. God bless. God bless. Wasn't that lovely?
It was perfect. It was bang on. Thank you, Kim, for your patience as well. I would just like to acknowledge her there and Spirit's connection coming forward for her.
Absolutely. We've got the lovely Polly Harnett, who works here at SPTV as one of the co-hosts and presenters on the show, on her own show. Lovely Polly, and she also is a trance medium as well, Dawn.
Ooh, love it. Hi, Polly, woman of my own heart.
Oh, a special evening coming up with Polly. Oh, a special evening coming up with Polly, and all Richard's saying at this moment in time, guys, is sofa. Watch this space. Watch this space.
Can I be invited, please, Bill?
We really did, yeah. Who else have we got with us, producer Richard? Sandra McCann, thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear from my nan. I have felt her over the past few months coming to me. Sandra, that's so lovely. Take that reassurance, my darling. Take her love and know that she's with you. She's watching over you. She walks beside you in whatever it is that you do, my darling. Amy Andrews, love the messages tonight. Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. Jay Watson, that was an absolute amazing reading. Jay, we're going to go for one more. So, Dawn, get yourself fired and let's get ready. And Michelle Road Knight has already clocked it. She's saying sofa watch and putting her hands together. So I think there might be a bit of a trance thing going on with Polly on the sofa with an infrared camera. I think so. I think so. And even Terry's got it. Oh, lovely Terry Wall. She's saying, oh my God, yes, sofa watch with Polly. Please say it is low. You're just all going to have to keep tuning in to find out, guys. That's all I'm going to say.
Fabulous.
Ah, bless. Right, so we get cracking on then, Dawn. Do you want to go with the next communicator?
I will indeed, absolutely. I'm a little bit slower than you, Bill, sometimes, but we'll see where we go. Okay, so I do have a gentleman coming forward. All right, he's literally just taken off his coat and he says, I'm here. And he's chuckling, he says, I'm here, let me in the door, bless him. And he's very direct, his nature. He would have been very direct and very, in some ways a little bit flamboyant, but never intrusive. You know, there's this kind of softness to him, but very confident also is the vibration that he gives me. He could speak really fast. Okay, so he's going to speed me up this evening. He's speaking really fast to me. I know that I'm with you on your side of the water this time, Bill. Okay, they're going back to UK soil completely. And I know that this man had a deep love of books and history and literature, and almost like I want to go down to Cambridge, I want to go to Oxford, I want to go to different places. I also want to hop on buses, you know, and sometimes I might be known to hitch a ride, thumbs up. You know, that was the done thing back in his time, you know. So I feel with him that I know that he wants to connect with a female. That's the direct vibration that he gives me. I feel this is potentially Grandad. This is what he's shown me. This is Grandad. And he's given me the name William. And I also know there was a point in time when he probably played around with facial hair and his appearance. You know, there's this kind of artistic look to him as well, kind of nerdy kind of look, got the flares on. You know, I'm going right back into the 60s and the 70s with him. And it really been a very fun time to be alive. He's talking about, you know, he loved information. This is what he brings me. I love information. It's almost like I carry a newspaper under my arm all the time. And later in life, he would have always had not just one newspaper. He'd have like 3 or 4 different newspapers every day that he would have went through. I want to know what's going on in current affairs, politics, all of that kind of stuff. All right. Now, I know he sends me right back over to you, Bill, so he's really controlling this connection.
Here we go. Nadine Brooks is saying my grandfather was William. What I want to say about him, I do get that great essence and understanding that this man by no means was a very, very well self-educated individual. Okay. And as I say self-educated individual, he actually changes the dialect with regards to the pronunciation of my English that I'm now speaking. So rather than me being South London and having a little bit of a Cockney twang thrown into it, I want to disperse that and push that to one side. As you say, I get that strong essence with regards to Oxford and Cambridge, but as I was feeling that connection, it was more for me on that vibration again of this educational fact that this gentleman wanted to bring into my mindset. I do know with this guy, he affects my throat. He brings me into my throat area. He makes my throat feel incredibly sore at this moment in time, almost to the point where I feel very gravelly or grainy within the tone and the dialect of my voice also with him. So I know that I want to be bringing this to the fruition of the recipient's mind here, who's going to take the message tonight with regards to that being present prior to him making his journey back home there into spirit. Karen King, sounds like I just missed that message there, Richard, the previous one, please. Karen King, sounds like my Uncle Bill, and the next part of the message was he was education at Oxford, very true English. Wonderful. That feels good for me at this moment in time there. Karen, I wonder if you can just take why he wants to bring me into my throat area there, please, my darling, because it's important that you understand why he's doing this with me. Andrea is also taking parts of this information with regards to free papers for the horses, so he would have been a betting man by the sounds of things. And Karen is just confirming he had a very bad throat. For me, I feel that I want to stay with Karen. I don't know about yourself there, Dawn, but for me, I'm feeling more torn towards Karen right now. Okay, you would also understand about this gentleman actually being very comfortable with his house slippers. Okay, I feel that his house slippers were very important to him. I actually feel as though I want to put a pair of the moccasin style slippers on his feet. He was a headmaster, Dawn. He was a headmaster. He had a very bad throat. I also feel very comfortable. He had some sort of cancer, absolutely. As I say, I feel very comfortable there, Karen, with these slippers that he places upon me. So that's a great indication for me that he would have been one that would have been very much at peace within his home comforts, you would understand. I understand with him as well, the way that he works with me and he connects with me, that he would have very much have liked his own company as much as he would have liked other people's, okay? He used to read the Times and the Observer, absolutely. They're the type of papers that I feel I want to connect to with this gentleman. But you would understand as well that I feel with him, and it is a feeling, okay? He's not telling me that, he's giving it to me sentiently. I feel with him that I would have stood alone for a long period of my time towards the back end of my life. Now, whether he's trying to make me understand that that would have, he lived in his slippers, thank you, my darling, whether or not that would have been a disconnection of a relationship, or indeed it was just that disconnection from society, I know I want to be bringing the essence of that forward and to the forefront and the fruition of your mind there as well, please, Karen. So do let me know if you understand that. Dawn, I'm going to come back over to you.
I did get this sense of kind of sometimes a very solitary man, like he liked to go away into his little man cave and do his manly things. You understand? Yeah. He's showing me one of those weights that tick back and forth. You know those little things that you hit off a wee ball and it goes back. I don't know the name. That's what he wants to show me. He was a very patient man. Okay, and very intelligent. It's almost like that intelligence wasn't fully explored. I want to write manuscripts. I want to write theses. You understand? Like there's a lot of very deep ideas with this gentleman. I know. I see him at one point. He's showing me in a room. Like I want to not be around smoke because it affects me. Okay, it's affecting my health, so I kind of have to isolate myself from certain situations now later in life. I also feel like he lost weight. So I feel that with him, that there's a slenderness that comes over him in his later years. He's not as full-bodied as he would have been, say, back in his 40s. I also know he didn't want to go to spirit. I have so much more to do. It's like he's writing so many different things. Some things didn't get completed, but at the same time, I know that he's very content in the spirit world. Bless him. He talks about a Sunday roast and being very skilled in his cooking skills, but I have a feeling he's joking. Yeah. Either he was a great cook or he did not cook at all, and he's making a joke about, having the puddings, the Yorkshire puts everything out. He wrote a book with his wife. Oh, beautiful. And what a project to take on board. But I definitely feel that there was more books left in his spirit, that there was more to express. And I want to go back to that era of the Great Wars, the two Great Wars back together, and him having a complete fascination with the war eras and the events of that time, and not just looking at it from one side of the coin. I want to look at it from every different angle. He had a very analytical mind. He hated smoking, yes. He lost half his body weight over a year. Bless, it was quite challenging for him. But at the same time, he did not lose his drive. He just had this push to get on with things and complete as much as he could of his life before he transitioned over to the spirit world. I also want to talk about a brother that met him when he transitioned. He couldn't even boil an egg. I got this feeling he was taking the hand out of me, bless him. But I like his sense of humor, and it shows us that he hasn't lost that sense of humor. It's still very much alive in the spirit world. Now, he's talking about a band, but it's not specifically a wedding ring. He was Second World War. Okay, it's not specifically a wedding ring. It's like something that was given to him out of acknowledgement for something that he did. Okay, I want to go to a band, and now he brings me back to you again, Bill.
As you're talking about band, I was thinking ring, but I was being taken to my little finger. Okay, I want to wear this ring upon my little finger with this gentleman. Also, again, I don't know whether or not this is his jovial nature, but he brings me back into that fashion sense that you were speaking about when you first opened up to the link here. I feel as though he would have been behind times with his dress sense. I feel and I understand with him that there would have been this eccentric look to him, because what he places within my mindset is one of those very I wouldn't say bold and brave velvet style jackets, where you've got like the lapels that are quite elaborate as well. And I know that he just brings that to the forefront of my mind. You wear his ring, Karen. Okay, my darling. Can you acknowledge whether or not that would have been on his little finger, or indeed if you wear it on your little finger there as well, please, my sweetheart? And can you also understand as well about there being his paper driving license still here on the airplane, because he makes it very evident to me that it's still here, that's still within possession. Okay, and he shows it to me in a very disheveled, disgruntled green colour, where it's almost in tethers. It's barely holding itself together. That's what I want to say. But I know that it's here. He makes me understand that it's here. Okay. The other thing that he wants me to do is acknowledge, for some reason, a coat hanger. and he's given me a coat hanger symbolically, okay, where I feel as though I need three-piece suit with bright waistcoat. Thank you, my darling. Okay, this hanger he's given to me is symbolic here, Karen. I know that I need to hang things up. Okay, he's bringing me into the present. He's bringing me to you. This is the essence of the message that he's giving me, that he wants me to bring forward. I know I want to put things on this hanger, hang it up, close the door on it. So I know that there's something that's going on around you at this present moment in time. I feel like there's a whirlwind of things that are going on, actually, as I say this now. And it's almost as though I can't see the wood for the trees. I'm spinning around constantly, okay? I just feel as though I just want to hang it up, put it to bed, forget about it, close the door, okay? As he gives that to me, he actually brings through the essence of the colour green for me to work with. Those of you that have seen me work before know that I work with colour green. For me, takes me into my heart chakra, okay? So I know that I've got a healing process that's going on around you right now. You're also saying here on your feedback, it's on your little finger. I have his license. I found it yesterday with my dad's. Wonderful. God bless you. Thank you. And thank him for working so hard and giving us that information. Lo, him and my dad made one as well. Wonderful. I have it, but I never use it. Excellent. Okay, just talk to me. Yes, lots going on. I was just about to say, just give me the feedback with regards to the last piece of info he's given me. You've just said that. Yes, there's lots going on. It's time to hang it up, okay? It's no longer serving you any purpose, okay? And I just don't want to be going around chasing old hat. I feel this would have been what he would have said, chasing old hat, you would understand, okay? Because he makes me feel very posh as he said that to me, God love him, all right? It's no good going around chasing old hat anymore. Put it away, close the door, forget about it. It's time to move on. Giving me green, taking me to my heart chakra. I'm acknowledging that there's lots of healing that's going on around you at this moment in time. Take his love, take his understanding, take the essence of him being there with you on your life's journey, forging you forward, and walking beside you everywhere that it is that you go. I'm going to hand over to Dawn to finish the communication of here with you, Karen, and say, God bless you, my darling. Thank you for giving me the opportunity of working with you both.
Yes. These words, that's fabulous, Karen. It was quite interesting because there was a point there I was pulling the cap off my head and I could see one of those Clark Kent kind of caps on my head and with a peaked feather. So this felt like a pheasant feather, and I want to go out into the English countryside and I want to have days out that are meaningful with the wife, you understand? And sometimes we might go off for 2 or 3 days and not even tell anybody that we were going to do that. We like to relive our honeymoon, and he liked to keep things fresh in life. That's the feeling that he brings me to. But he also brought me to Wales as well for some reason. So there's a connection to Wales and spending time in Wales. Is there anything else you want to share? He says there's a scientist in the family, you must nurture him. There's a scientist in the family, you must nurture him. Specifically him. And I know that he walks with this young person in encouragement to bring them forward in terms of their chosen career path. Thank you so much. Wonderful on his anniversary. My eyes are full. That's beautiful. Thank you. I personally just feel like I just want to leave his love there. He's more than happy. Absolutely. He's more than happy. Yeah.
Take his love, Karen. Dawn, it was such a lovely communication, and how amazing our spirit. Now, for those that might be skeptical, who think that, you know, what we do is completely bonkers, you're all the way over in Ireland, I'm all the way over in the UK. We've conjoined our energies, we've worked on that one link, and we've brought through specific pieces of information that are related to that lady and made her day. So I would say to all those that question, watch it again. Tina, another beautiful message from both of you. God bless you, Tina. Thank you so much. LJ Blue Eyes, I'm totally amazed how spot on the messages are and how strong the info is. Bless you. Thank you, LJ, for that lovely feedback. We are very blessed, as mediums, because at the end of the day, we are just that vessel. We are just the voice for spirit. It's not us, it's spirit that actually give us this communication and the information. We just voice that and share that with you guys at home. Pamela Watson, beautiful message. Dawn, I don't know if you want to make a few acknowledgements.
I would love to. Thank you, Bill. Millie, thank you. Really amazing. Thank you, Bill and Dawn. Very grateful, Millie. Thank you for tuning in. Jenny, from Jenny Bennett, am I able to see spirits? Not physically anymore. I used to be able to see spirits as a child. No, I think I stopped spirit. Can I tell you a very quick story?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. The last time I physically really was very comfortable around spirit would have been around 2005. I was pregnant with my daughter, and I had been running a development class that evening, and my group headed off and went off into the night, and later that night, in the middle of the night, I could hear banging in the presses downstairs. I would have a lot of physical presence of spirit around me, and I thought it was one of my older children up. I came down the stairs and got this feeling that someone was standing behind me. The lights were all on, presses were all open, there was nobody downstairs. And so I got this sense that somebody was standing behind me, and I turned around and there was a young man in my kitchen, and I was, whatever, 7 months expecting. I kind of had a bit of a tear, and I thought, oh, don't do that again. Don't do that again. You're not allowed to do that at 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it was. And I asked him in my mind then, who are you? Why are you in my house, you know, at this time of the night? And he told me his name, and I took his name, and he told me that he'd passed in a motorbike accident and he wanted to speak to his family member. So look, I let it go and I went back up to bed, and the following day, all of a sudden I'm having this leak in my kitchen, and the water's coming down from the bathroom upstairs, you know, running through the electrics, and I hadn't a clue what to do with that. So I didn't know anybody in that area, but I remembered one of my students from the night before was a plumber, and he lived about 30 minutes away. I thought, I'll ring him, he'll at least tell me how to switch it off, which I rang him, and he says, well, Dawn, I'm actually just 5 minutes away, I can come in. I'm like, okay, great. So he came in and he remedied the water situation. We got talking, and I was telling him about my experience the night before, and I mentioned the young man and the name and the way that he passed. And of course, you and I,
the link.
It was the link. You know, so at that point in time, I thought, okay, I'm not doing that. So they're a lot more careful around me now. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
What a lovely, lovely story. Dawn, do you know what? It's been absolutely amazing working with you again here this evening. Thank you so much for taking the time out to share your mediumship gift with everybody here at SPTV. And also for everybody at home that's watching. Just remind everybody, just before we sign off for the night, where it is that they can find you on social media again.
Where Angels Whisper.
Where Angels Whisper.
Where Angels Whisper. And I want to say a massive thank you to Richard as well for helping me out this evening and getting me settled in. I really appreciate it.
Oh, bless you. Dawn, thank you so much once again. To all of you guys at home who have joined us here this evening, for all of you that have shared us out there, thank you so very, very much. I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. And until that time, may the love and light of spirit be with each and every single one of you. Good night, everybody. God bless. Take care. And Richard's just saying to me, before we actually roll the end credits, Bill, keep an eye out, Richard, on Sunday for the voting and nomination for our own awards. So that Sunday evening, guys, you can check it out on Facebook or indeed on the Spiritual Psychics TV website. Have a wonderful evening. See you again in 2 weeks' time, everybody. Good night. God bless. Dawn, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Richard. God bless.